Follow along as I take my 1984 Ramcharger to the next stage with coilovers, a doubler, and it's going to be stretched a few inches. Stay tuned. All right, now we're to the point we can really start cutting on some things. So took the suspension out, everything's disconnected. The axle is just sitting on jack stands here. I'll probably have to disconnect the brake line or adjust that to kind of move it back when I'm ready, but it's out of my way. Drive shaft's disconnected. So it's just going to sit there as I work on these brackets. So I'm going to start working on those rivets, cut those out both sides, and we'll go from there. All right, mostly got one side done. I have the front there. I just need to punch out those rivets and flap disc that rusty spot that was behind the spring hanger. Back here, I need to do the same thing with the rivets, get these popped out. I just have the brackets popped off. So kind of the easiest way I found to get these out, I have a plasma cutter and I thought I could, just kind of cut around the steel and then, but you still have to do something about the rivets and, I have stuff on the inside of the frame rail still, so I wasn't going to pull it away quite yet. So kind of what I found was the easiest was to use the cutting wheel. Oh, that's my grinder. Cutting wheel. And then just, cut off the heads of the rivets and then just take a really good drill bit and kind of drill, and you can kind of see on these rivets here. I just drilled on the edge a couple times, just a little bit, and then hammers right off. And then you should be able to either grind these out or just hammer these right on through and they should pop out. So, really not too bad of a job. And actually, if I wanted to, probably could reuse that bracket for something, but I have no use for it, so it's going to go to scrap. But yeah, that's kind of the easiest, quickest way I found to do this is use a cutting wheel, chip away at the rivet heads, and then just a couple drill holes in each one real quick with a real good drill bit, and then just hammer it off and it comes right off. All right, brackets are all out on both sides. We're just kind of mocking up the new Chevy 64-inch spring here. Just haven't moved the axle at all yet, so we're just kind of getting them bolted up to the axle a little bit. I have these Barnes brackets. I'm going on the most forward hole to kind of push the axle back just a little bit. So we're just going to kind of see the bracket's going to go somewhere here. We're going to hang down just a touch, little lower. I think we might be able to reuse one or two of the factory holes and then just kind of position from there. So we're going to get mocked up and see where that lands us. All right, now to the fun stuff. So we're starting to mock up here. Let me show you what we're doing. Okay, we're mocking up. So like I said before, earlier in the video, I'm using these Chevy brackets. I'll find the part number. I'll put it in the description. But I was able to hang it just a little bit lower than the frame. And it's not crazy low, like my belly pan and such is way lower. I could get to this nut on the backside, which is good, but I don't think it's any lower than like a link bracket would be. So I kind of like the positioning. So I really kind of want to mock up where, kind of get an idea of where these springs are going to be and how flat they're going to get under load. So that's why I'm just kind of mocking up here. I have just one. I'm using one of the factory bolt holes on this top hole, so I'll have to drill out for this one, and I think on the factory one, if I wanted 3 holes, is on this side, so I can mark it and then drill it through this way, or mark it on this side, pull the bracket off, drill the bracket, so I have a 3rd hole, drill that one that way. But I kind of like how it, it's going to follow the factory line here. It kind of, it's a massive bracket. Looks like it's going to work pretty well. And actually, I'll probably throw some weld on the back side of each bracket just to kind of really secure it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's gonna fit perfectly. So the next thing I got to figure out is the shackle angle. So just to kind of get to see how the springs were going to compress, so I had an idea. My dad was over here and he helped me do this, and we got everything kind of all situated. Got spring plates on, and we found just a bolt hole, just to kind of temporarily kind of sit it on its weight. So obviously this is not what I'm doing, but this is just to kind of see, okay, how flat are these springs really going to go? Fortunately, they didn't go that flat. So, I just got the sleeve from the bushing. I sleeved it on the shackle, and I just kind of bolted on that, one of those empty bolt holes there. But what I'm going to do is going to build off these outrigger brackets. Again, I got to clean all this up. This is from the old bracket, so we'll clean it all up, when it's ready to go. I just have this clamped here right now, and so I'm going to get an idea of my appropriate shackle angle. So for ride quality, I want this to have I believe it's like a 40-degree angle, something like that. For optimum shackle angle, that way when your suspension droops, it swings out, but then also when you're hitting bumps, it doesn't take as much resistance to compress. It'll just swing back as this spring flattens out, because as these springs flatten out, they get longer. I have the pieces on my welding table right now, so I'm gonna just tack the bushing housings on, and then I'll clamp them here, and then I think there's a hole in the frame that I'm gonna mark on this bracket. I'll drill so I can get a bolt through, just so I can hold this in place, and then just kind of figure out, okay, where's the best place to put that bushing for the shackle. And we'll kind of go from there, continue to play mock-up, and then once I'm good with that, then I'll make this more permanent, and then I'll continue making the front mounts more permanent. That's where we're at. So let's get to it. All right, so I got the inside of these outrigger plates marked coming from the inside of the frame rail, and I just kind of took them out. I'm getting ready to put them in the drill press. They look like they're lined up pretty good. I mean, I took I was going off of this body mount here, not body mount, hole in the frame. I was going off the edge here with a square, just to kind of line up both sides and kind of get it where I want it. And I think that's going to put it in the perfect position to put the shackle, and then also still have enough room to make a mount back here for my new rear bumper that I'll be building. So the holes underneath here, I believe it's this one, and that's basically just so I can kind of locate these outriggers, hold them in place while I get everything kind of lined up and tacked together for the shackles. So let's get these drilled out. All right, so we're in the middle of mock-up. I got two bolts in on that front bracket just to keep it from moving and swinging around. But the rear brackets for the shackle hangers, I got these set up. I originally had them farther forward, like I was planning on, with I believe this body hole here, and that was too far forward, and I actually had hardly any shackle angle, to the point it just continued to compress and swing back. So I moved this back to another factory hole that was right there, just to kind of see and eyeball where it was. And I have, I don't know, about 65 degrees shackle angle. It's a little more than I want. So I'm going to continue playing around for trying to get to that 45-ish mark. So I might have to drill another hole and move this bracket up, or at least clamp it or something. But maybe I'll try to split the difference between these two holes and see what happens. But right now it's supporting the weight, so it's just slightly off. The jack stands a little bit. I think it's kind of tilted on this one, but it's just enough to where it's you know, it's supporting the weight of the back of the vehicle. Granted, we're unloaded here, but this, I mean, this should still give me kind of an idea. So I'll continue to play around and see where the best position is to put this. And then, yeah, this is kind of getting in the way of where I wanted to make my mounts for my rear bumper. I might have to figure out something on the shackle hangers to kind of come off of and for mounts. So, but we'll keep playing around, see what happens. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one in the series. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.